Good morning, everyone. I'm Sharnita, and I work with the JobsForHer team. As the world starts adapting to the new normal of working from home and social distancing during the time of crisis, so should you. There's no need for you to give up your job search. You need to find new ways to continue the same. This is why JobsForHer has organized a masterclass on finding new opportunities in the new normal by reinventing yourself by Jyotika Menon, Group Lead Culture, Employer Brand, and HR Communications, Piramal Enterprises Limited. Jyotika has 11 years of multi industry experience across FMCG, healthcare, insurance, agribusiness, and real estate. She has worked on diverse HR portfolios as a Center of Excellence champion, culture engagement, diversity and inclusion, campus relations, employer brand, and HR business partnering. She's worked with Godrej Group, HDFC Life Insurance Company Limited, Hindustan Pencils Private Limited prior to joining Piramal Enterprises. Jyotika has completed her post-graduation diploma in management in HR and her graduation in BE IT. Outside of work, Jyotika is passionate about dance. She's trained in classical dance and Carnatic music, anchoring events as an MC, counseling, fond of traveling, and exploring new places. And so, with further ado, I now ask Jyotika to take over.
Hello everyone, good morning. Thanks for joining in on a Monday morning, right? And so what we're going to do is start with the session. Thank you so much, Sharnita, for the quick introduction, right? I am delighted to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Also want to say a thank you to Sharnita as well as Deepu, who thought that, we could do this masterclass with you and try and figure out what could we do differently to continue to learn and build our capabilities so that whether it's the new normal or once we get back to the pre-COVID season and things get better, I get more opportunities to try and work, right? So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Just hold on and possibly you could help us and tell us if you can see it. So here's what we're going to do over the next 50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes. We're going to look at the future of work and trends, right? This is very important because even before COVID hit us, the workplace was changing, digitization, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all of it have evolved, right? They're changing the way we function. So we're going to look at some of the trends there, which will also give us insights into what are the top skills that are needed, okay? Then we'll hit into new normal and how that has brought about a change in our own behaviors, the way we live. The third and the fourth point is the crux. Why is it important to know yourself, and have you done a deep dive self-awareness, exercise? And then reinventing yourself. It's a big bucket. It's a big umbrella, reinventing yourself. I'm going to focus on how you can do that with continuous learning. And I'm going to take you through what are the interesting things we do at Piramal in order to be more inclusive and welcome women on board. All right. So here's a study that was done by Gallup and LinkedIn last year, which talked about some of the trends, right? Flexibility is the new norm. It's the need of the hour. If you look at how behaviors have been changing and you look at the current millennials, the youngsters, they're very demanding, right? They ask for flexibility. They want to carve out and design their own life, their style, okay? Earlier, I think people were a little more shy. They would wonder, one particular asking for a leave maybe would take time with the manager, but that's changing now, right? Flexibility is the need of the hour. And you would see that there's a growing trend among top organizations where they offer you flexibility, flexi time, the option to work from home, the option to not come to office every day, to work from different sites, from customer locations, so on and so forth, right? So flexibility is a very, very important thing which has nudged and forced employers to bring in that change, right? I talked about AI and machine learning. We have already seen Siri, Alexa, it has entered our households, right? All of us nowadays talk to Siri, Alexa to help us, right? You have those smart watches, those gadgets that help you track whether you're sleeping well. Have you done your meditation? Have you done your yoga? Have you eaten the right set of veggies? Have you eaten healthy food? How much junk food have you eaten, right? All of that bit. So we're using technology very often. We are reliable, dependent on it to help us lead our lives better. And the last important aspect is the gig economy, which is a great positive, right? Because of flexibility, because of the changing workplace trends, what's happened is that there is a rise in gig economy. People want to do freelance work. People want to, build their capabilities. They do not want to be associated just with one organization. They feel that, okay, I'm really good. I can service 3 organizations. I design my time, how much of, work, number of hours I'm going to work in a week, and then these are the amount of months that possibly I'm going to invest in learning something new, a new skill, maybe traveling to another country, maybe anything that's relevant to the role or to my life, whatever my passions are, right? So these are the 3 important things that have come out very clearly in the trend. 6 trends, again, which reiterate, we already discussed about people wanting to spend lesser time on commuting, for example, right? And I am from Bombay. So on an average, a Mumbaiker spends around maybe an hour to 3 hours on travel every day, right? So can I cut down on that time, make it more productive, log in from home, and productivity is not the concern. And that's one good news after COVID hit in the new normal. The myth has been broken that you can't really be productive while you work from home. Most of us today are working from home, and we have our own office set up, and we have figured out a success matrix to kind of work with both, right? The other bit is like I mentioned, technology is the need of the hour. You need to be equipped to use different platforms, right? Today we are doing this particular learning session on a Zoom link, right? Likewise, there are multiple other links. We have figured out how we can talk and stay digitally connected, right? um, Organizations now are ready to be risk takers. They want to take early bets, especially when it comes to startups, unicorn organizations. Innovation is the key, so they are ready to invest in that. Remote work is on the rise. It's becoming more global, right? Today it's no longer that we service or we are only part of one particular country and our workplace is just in one country. It is beyond. So it's very important to also understand that here's where cross-functional and soft skill communications come in. It's very, very important to understand different cultures. Respecting diversity and inclusion is an important trending item today within HR. So it's very important to understand people, right? And how do you lead teams well? How do you understand, how do you ensure that you can influence teams to deliver on the required outcome? And of course, great organizations have top cultures, and that is the major value proposition. They have a great promise for an employee to come and join their company. All right. Like I mentioned, the gig economy is a very strong positive sentiment for diverse teams, especially women in India. We have seen a rise, especially you see this was from one of the articles where, there's a rise in terms of the e-commerce sector, food tech, where women are joining the workforce. And these are opportunities. There were around 67,900 women who are part of this growing workforce, right? As a consultant, as a delivery agent, right? You decide. So there's a lot of onus, and that we come back to our main topic of how do you keep reinventing yourself, evolving yourself with continuous learning. The more you do, the more credibility that you have. You're able to try out different strategic projects. Your demand increases, and you reach a stage where organizations approach you to come and work with them. All right. And then all of this is very important. Two things that we learn from it, that yes, today after the new normal has hit, organizations have understood that people can work from home and be as productive, right? It's not necessarily necessary to come within the office premises and be productive. Yes, there is a miss today. Working from home, you do miss your colleagues at work. You miss those actual face-to-face interaction, team meetings, those leadership interactions, which are inspirational at times. All of that happens. But nevertheless, this is also a current style which is working really, really well. So what happened after the new normal hit, right? It has forced us to change the way we behave, the way we live, right? Uh, Now what you're doing is automatically you see people wearing masks. You are following social distancing norms. You are wearing your gloves. You're not having those big get together actual gatherings, right? Like I mentioned, we're using more online platforms to stay connected. Okay, it's more of a digital connect, and you're trying out new things. One good thing that's happened after COVID is that you see a lot of people sharing on social media, on WhatsApp groups, that okay, you know what, I never used to try gardening and planting trees, but here is my own balcony garden. Here is my organic garden. People try out cooking. People have tried out a new skill. They're investing more time in terms of learning something. They get to spend time with family. So these are some of the positive things that have come up. But this is just um, a day in the life of most people post COVID, right? They've started logging in from home. Offices have resumed. So there are some people, I'm sure, who are maintaining social distancing norms and still traveling to work now. A lot of online shopping, doing everything, movie streaming over the weekend on Netflix, Amazon, all of that, maintaining hygiene, and e-learning, right? E-learning is a very, very important one. That's one takeaway that I'd like to continue over the next subsequent slides, right? I talked about work from home. There are some great organizations which have also decided that, okay, irrespective of whenever, the situation normalizes and COVID is off, I still am going to allow my employees to work from home till next year. Or even better, I'm going to ensure I'm going to create my infrastructure, which is almost done now, where they don't need to come to office at all. They might need to come only maybe once a week when there's an important team meeting, right? And these are some of these great organizations like a Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Viacom, RBS, right? So that's what has happened, which is a great thing, because if you want to be part of the gig economy, if you want to, you've been an employee, a professional who's been working with an organization, but maybe wants to take that route, wants to explore that route, possibly now is a good time. Okay, that's the first bit of it. So we spoke about future trends. We talked about digitization coming here, staying here with us. We need to understand, we need to be tech savvy. It's not a good to have, it's a must have today. I need to know how to be, competent in terms of going on online platforms, using these networks, using connecting online with people. Between Before starting the session, me and Sharnita were just trying out our videos, right? So how do we kind of ensure that is there? Okay, all right, I can see someone, no worries. So the next bit is know yourself. Since we have some of you joined in, may I request some of you to unmute yourself and answer this question. How well do you know yourself? Do you feel that you know yourself really well? Or do you think that there is still some place or some opportunity to get to know yourself better? Okay, let me just put in a few questions and then wait for your answer. Who am I? What's my purpose in life? What are my passions? What are my strengths and weaknesses? What are my life goals? Where am I today? Where do I want to be in the next 3 to 5 years? How many of us have an answer to each of this question? Could you unmute yourself and share? May I request some of our participants to share some things? Or would you say that you're midway, you know some of the answers, but maybe you need to spend some more time on answering some of these questions? Or you could be in a position where you've not really, spent time on these questions.
Hi, Jyotika, if I may.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, so I think personally for me, I have an idea for each of these questions, but they keep evolving as time passes. So, my life goals keep changing, my areas of passion keep changing. So, with time they are evolving. So, I wouldn't say I have a clear, solid picture, but I've given myself that flexibility to, keep changing with the times.
Thank you so much, Trisha. And that's a very evolved answer. That's a very well thought out plan, right? Because it keeps changing. You know, what the person you were possibly 5 years or 10 years back and who you are today, you would experience a change, right? The experiences that you have had, the kind of decisions that you've taken, all of this is an amalgamation of who you are today, right? So thank you so much for that. Let's spend some time on a reflection activity. May I request each one of you to just take possibly a white paper, right, a blank paper, or use your laptop since you all are, on a desktop or laptop right now, and possibly share 5 things to describe yourself. Yeah, 5 things to describe yourself. Uh, there are a few people who are joining us right now, so we are spending some time on a reflection activity, around 5 minutes for this. Take a blank piece of white paper or a blank Word document and start writing 5 things that describe yourself. It could be about your passion. Some of the questions that you could look at, I'm just going to put this slide again, right? Answering some of these questions would be important. And don't unmute yourself, but in case there's someone who has not done this exercise, I'm glad that we're doing this today, because this is one of the most important things in terms of reinventing. First, starting with how well you know yourself and what do you want to achieve in life. 5 things about me. I am very, very passionate about dance, so it's a stress buster for me. Um, the other thing that describes me, I think, is my journey. Uh, as a young girl today, I am into the motherhood phase. I have a 4.5-year-old son, right, who keeps the childhood alive in me, right? So I am a child with him. I love interacting with people, and very happy that I have you today to interact with. Try to do a little bit of counseling. I'm pretty much the agony aunt in the family. And the 5th bit is, yes, I do love spending time with children. May I also request our learners to possibly write one sentence about them in the chat window, just like one part that really, they have a lot of pride in. It could be any one point, but please use the chat window. It will really help to get to know you better. Could we have possibly 1 or 2 people sharing on the chat window, or unmute yourself, whatever you prefer? Yes, I do see someone joining in. I was
Hi,
hoping. Yeah, hi. Could you also
hi, Jyotika.
introduce yourself, please?
I didn't get you.
Could you introduce yourself? Please tell your name. I'm not able to see because my slideshow is on.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Jyotika. This is Shireen here, Shireen Nurani.
Hi, Shireen.
Hi. 5 things, which I would say is I'm hardworking,
Wow.
I'm honest, I have good communication skills,
Okay.
I'm a good team player,
Okay.
and I would say that, I would do anything to achieve my goals, and
Fantastic.
yeah, that's
You're
it.
very resilient. You're very committed to your goals.
Right, right.
Thank you so much, Shireen. I could feel the smile as well, when you started. So very happy about that. Thank you. So I would
Yeah,
also see that
welcome.
you're one person possibly who keeps maybe smiles more often.
Yes, you could say that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Would someone else also like to share a few things that they've written about themselves? Or maybe use the chat window. I think people are writing on the chat, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So Sharnita, maybe you could help us with a few and then we'll move to the next point.
We have one which has come from Sharmila. I am 1 minute.
Yeah. Hi, Sharmila.
I'm a travel professional and
Okay.
customer service expert.
Okay.
Writing is my passion and I
Very
have
nice.
my blog.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. So we have committed people to their goals and we have a blogger as well in the team. Fantastic. So let's move on to the next
We
point.
have one, two,
Yeah,
three
yeah.
more.
Okay,
Yes.
please go ahead. Please, let's listen.
Okay, the next one comes from Anupama Bharadwaj. I'm
Hi,
Anupama.
Anupama.
I'm a freelance content editor and writer. I
Okay.
pride myself in being observant and extremely detail oriented. And the next one comes from Richa.
Okay. Hi,
I'm
Richa.
a I'm a lifelong learner and an engineering consultant with a passion for travel and possess enterprising skills. Have made several career pivots based on the personal and professional situation. And we have, okay, I personally put in one. I'm
Yeah.
someone who's consistently growing and who takes the time to continue learning, even though it's not direct requirement of my job from, from the
Fantastic.
job perspective.
Yes, got it, got it. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Now we get to know a little bit more about you. We understand that most of you have, reached that stage where you all are consultants, right? You all are trying to get into your freelance projects. You all are blogging. So very, very inspirational. Thank you so much for sharing. Now let's add one more bit to the same paper where you write down one skill or possibly one career goal you aim to achieve in the next 2 to 3 years. Okay. There should be only one thing, one skill or a career goal. Please jot that down. And what I want you to do is, after you've written it, keep this page somewhere very close to where you spend time, right? It could be your workstation, it could be any place where you see it very often. Two reasons for doing this. One is whatever you've described about yourself. First is, these 5 things. I purposely mentioned 5 because they'll be very close to something that make you happy. And you have that pride element in it. That's one. And the second thing is, since you have written about this one skill or the career goal that you want to achieve over the next 2 to 3 years, what you will do is you will keep seeing this. And the more often you see it, you'll get reminded of it and you will then start actually doing work, right? So you won't forget about this after the masterclass today. Okay. And after this is done, may I request maybe few more people to participate and share that one skill or one career goal that you want to achieve in the next 2 to 3 years. We could again use the chat window or we could unmute ourselves and share it with the group, whatever is your preference. We are spending time on this today because this is one takeaway. What happens generally is we listen to many things, but until unless you customize it to yourself, spend some time contemplating what you want to do, right? It would be difficult to get there. Okay. Have most of you completed writing in your goal and describing yourself on the sheet? Great. I think we've started to get some comments on our chat box. So, uh, Sharnita, may I request you to share some of them and then,
Okay,
yeah.
so we have Apruva Rai says yes, she has a skill. Apruva Rai, if you want to speak up and unmute yourself and speak, will be nice. Shireen also mentioned that she has a skill in mind, but
Okay. Okay,
nothing that
but they've
she's
not mentioned.
mentioned.
No worries. So let's just say that possibly you don't want to share it with the group, but you do have one skill. You have identified that one skill that you want to learn. Is
So
that fair?
Krishna
Yeah.
Veni,
Yeah.
Krishna Veni has written, she was an IT professional
Okay.
and I like to learn new upcoming technology. I'm
Okay.
already doing an online machine learning course and,
Wow.
and would like to see my career move towards the same.
Thank you so much. So one clap for that because you've already started on your journey. You were in IT and again you're working something on machine learning, which is an upcoming field. So all the best to you, Krishnaveni. Thank you so much for sharing that. Great. And I'd just like to end this, like I mentioned, keep this somewhere very close to where you can see the sheet every day. You can write it better and get more creative so that it's also very inspirational for you to go visit and also follow. Also, one important thing is believe in your goal and yourself. You might come across um, naysayers, right? People who don't believe in your goal, who are roadblocks, who tell you that, oh, I don't think this is something that you should do. But as soon as you're convinced that, okay, this is something I need to do, I should do, this will make me happy, this will, make me meet my career goals, my aspirations, my life purpose, just go ahead and do it. Okay, you need to also learn the art of ignoring naysayers. All right, people who try to, demotivate you and pull you down. All right. So what we're going to do next is watch a small video clip. How many of you have watched the movie Kung Fu Panda? It's an animation movie. It was pretty popular. You could use the chat window to share your. Okay. So what we're
We
going to
also
do?
got a couple of more answers for our previous
Okay.
question.
Great. Let's read them. Let's
Yeah.
read them.
So Vinuta Reddy says, career goal. I would like to see myself a step ahead in my career.
Okay.
Restarted my career by starting from scratch. Oh, I did that too, Vinuta.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic. It takes a lot of guts, Sharnita, to restart
Yeah,
and do
of
it all
course.
over again,
All
right?
over again.
Obviously after a break. So kudos to both of you.
Okay, and Vinuta Reddy also says she would like to see herself in a managerial role.
Okay.
And then Anupama says, I have seen it, but I don't know what she means by
Okay.
saying I've seen it.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Fabulous. So you are coming back. Women tend to take a break possibly because of mobility. They call the 3 M's, either mobility or marriage or maternity, right? And it takes a lot of determination to come back after these breaks, right? So kudos to everyone who has done that in this group, right? Let's move on and take a quick look at this small video clip. It's about, it's from the movie called Kung Fu Panda. I hope some of you have watched it. It's an inspirational movie. If you haven't, please take some time. I would certainly recommend it, right? And let's look at the video. You could share, possibly one or two of you could share what do you take away from this particular video clip, and we will just summarize and do a gist of the video as well. Just tell me if you're able to hear the audio.
Look at you. Yeah, I know. I just got...
Can, Jyotika.
No, I mean, how did you get up there? I don't know. I don't know. I was getting a cookie. And yet you are 10 feet off the ground and have done a perfect split. Now this is just a accident. There are no accidents. Come with me. I know you're trying to be all mystical and kung fu-y, but could you at least tell me where we're going? You dragged me all the way out here for a bath? Panda, we do not wash our pits in the pool of sacred tears. The pool of... This is where Oogway unraveled the mysteries of harmony and focus. This is the birthplace of Kung Fu. Want to learn Kung Fu? Yeah. Then I am your master. Okay. Don't cry. Okay. When you focus on Kung Fu, when you concentrate, you stink. But perhaps that is my fault. I cannot train you the way I have trained the 5. I now see that the way to get through to you is with this. Oh, Oh, great, because I'm hungry. Good. When you have been trained, you may eat. Let's begin. After you, Panda.
Just like that? No sit-ups? No 10-mile hike?
I vowed to train you, and you have been trained. You are free to eat. Enjoy.
Hey!
I said you are free to eat. Have a dumpling.
Hey!
You are free to eat.
Am I?
Are you?
What?
Great. So since it's already 11:40, we have only 20 minutes. What I'm going to do is just summarize. Right, the video very clearly showed the panda, right, who is not the first animal that comes to your head if you think of kung fu, right, and how his master trains him on kung fu using something that will motivate him, which is food, right? And if you look at the earlier movie, and you know, the entire gist of the movie is that everyone is unique. Po, the panda here, his name is Po. He keeps thinking that there is some special ingredient, that's something special in the others, because of which they are great warriors. But the bottom line at the end is that, you know, all of us have something within. It's just you. That is the special ingredient. So all of us have been blessed with unique traits, which there would be always something that you do much better than the others. What is important in order to reach success or be successful is identify what you're best at, what you're really good at, what really you're passionate about, and then driving it, right? So that is the crux. And you know, he joins here never thinking that he would be a great kung fu warrior, but he ends up being there, right? Thanks to his this picture is also very good from the sense that, you know, you have a snake.
Yeah.
Just a minute, great, is my screen visible?
Yes.
All right. So those were some key learnings, right? All of us have a special ingredient, which is very unique to us. So how do you find that out and keep getting better at that particular skill? I think that's an important recipe for success. All right. So like I mentioned, reinventing yourself is a big umbrella. It's just an open canvas. knowing yourself, identifying your strengths and weaknesses, what you're really good at, what you're passionate about is an important step. But now what we're going to do is focus on how do you keep learning. In the initial sharings, we had a lot of our learners sharing that, I already want to, I know that I want to do this particular, learn this skill over the next year, and I've started working on it already. So really big clap on that one as well, because that's the first step. All right. Dedication to lifelong learning, that is also a differentiator today between people who are doing very well and people who are maybe, fall short of reaching their goals, right? There was an article that I was reading where CEOs and top leaders read around 2 books every month, or on an average, right? Or maybe more, right? That's the kind of thirst they have for knowledge. And why is it important? Why is continuous learning important today? It's not that I will get better and build on my capabilities, but one study shows that the to be an ideal candidate, you need to have learning agility. People have put it as 46%, right? Which is one of the highest compared to the others, which is communication, digital ability, resilience, customer focus. Learning agility is very, very important. It's not about what you know, but what you can learn on the job, what you continue to learn every day, what you continue to learn over the span, of your association with the organization, right? So it's very, very important. Hence, please continuously learn. If I were to ask you how many people want to succeed, can you raise your hands? Don't possibly, go on the video, but raise your hand. Okay, I'm assuming most of you have raised your hand. And who's willing to work hard? Raise your hand. Okay, so there is a difference between how many want success and what's the amount of dedication or commitment, hard work you're ready to associate with it, right? Even when you're raising your hands, possibly the answer to the first question came much faster. The one to the second, maybe some of us thought more about it, right? But it's very, very important to keep upskilling, reskilling, like we talked about the entire context of the changing workplace, right? You need to know how to be digital, how to, know possibly machine learning, important to your particular skill set. Not everybody needs to learn machine learning, but the basics of, how do you be evolved, be able to manage your work, even with a changing mindset. Okay, that's very, very important. And there are multiple benefits of lifelong learning, which you can see above, right? It really opens up your mind, right? Every time you read a book, you can think that it's one dot. You read multiple books, you get multiple different perceptions. You learn about products, processes, so on and so forth, and it helps you connecting the dots, right? You understand what you're good at, what are your abilities. You're ready to change, right? Change is the only constant in life. Things keep changing. If you're not ready to be adaptive to change and get on that bandwagon, you might lose out, you might fall back. It helps you find purpose, increases your wisdom, and also helps you, add value to the society, build a better community, and you have a much better enriched life. Okay, these are some of the things that you could do. uh, I have mentioned only few in terms of, LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, Coursera. There are multiple other. Post COVID, there is so much of branding about some of the best learning courses available over here, and they have a lot of options. So there's not a place where you are interested in a particular topic and you won't be able to get it online. So try these courses out, invest in that. It's about choices. Many people are using the current situation to binge watch on Netflix and Amazon. I'm not saying that that's also important to, possibly stress, remove your stress, uh, detox, all of that, but don't use only that, and let other things suffer. Use your time wisely. Look out for organizational projects, for opportunities, because when you join a particular organization, or working on a project with multiple other stakeholders, what you get to know is, you're networking with different kinds of people, you're learning those skill sets. You can find a mentor within that system. It helps you evolve. So take that up, and always keep upgrading your knowledge. In terms of learning, there are training sessions that help you build, possibly on different things relevant to your job, relevant to your career goal. Please continue to invest in your knowledge. I'm going to now move into the last bit of life at Piramal. This is our beautiful office. We miss going to work today. These are some of the policies. Piramal provides this. Some of the top organizations also provide these great, they've built the ecosystem to welcome diversity, right? So at Piramal, we are very proud that we have great policies and procedures. We have a creche at our corporate office. We have flexi working options. We have work from home. We can work from the client's office. You have all the possible leaves. We also provide leave from adoption. We have something called a second innings at Piramal. I understand that most of us have taken that break and want to come back, and it can get at times it's not as simple as it seems to be. So this again is an opportunity or a platform that Piramal provides, second innings at Piramal, where women who've taken a break for whatever reason want to come back to the workforce can write into us, right, and share and join our journey, whether as consultants on special projects or on part-time basis, depending on their need, right? There's a lot of learning at Piramal. We spend a lot of time. We have a separate women network called Inspiration Network, where we have similar masterclasses. We have sessions where people come and talk about parenting, about meditation, about learning, about how women have done their roller coaster journey of success, right? A lot of similar masterclasses that really help us. A lot of sharing in that team. Piramal Learning University again is something like our LinkedIn Learning, where we have some total allowing us to go and learn whatever we want to. We also have separate functional academies called HR Academy. For us, since I'm in the HR team, where I today currently I'm learning, getting certified to be a great facilitator. And there's of course a lot of growth and transformation opportunity that you get. That's our promise. You can be part of our hypo program. You can get accelerated growth. You get an opportunity to work on strategic projects. Since it's a conglomerate, you can work with different people from different business units, and you have inspirational leaders as mentors. This is a quick glance of some of the inspirational women that we have at Piramal: Dr. Swati Piramal, Nandini Piramal, right? And some of the fun that we have had, fun interactions that we have had with the team, right, of women. Every day we pretty much celebrate women at Piramal. We've also been recognized second by Forbes in as one of the best workplaces, right? I'd like to end with this video before we spoke about, if you recollect the reflection activity, we spent time on describing ourselves, 5 things to describe ourselves, something that we're proud of, and one skill or one career goal that I aim to achieve in the next 3 to 5 years, right? As women, let's face it, it's reality that at times there are certain roadblocks. We do face bias, right? Women in sales is one bias. Women in, for example, manufacturing sites, you have lesser women trying to take this particular opportunity or job role. So here is a video that where we captured women who are in sales for our consumer product division, and they come up from they come and I'll play the video for you, but this again is to reinforce the fact that if we believe as individuals we can do it, and we can do very well at it. Not only can we be equal, we can be better as talent, as individuals. So I'm just going to spend the next 5 minutes. It's a 3-minute video playing this. Tell me if you can hear the sound. Great. So, um, if you watch the video, what you would also realize is that, one of them, I certainly want to mention, these women have started their journey. Initially, their distributors also would be like, why are we having women who are coming from Piramal as our, as sales team? So it took some time, but with a lot of context setting, today all these women are doing very well. I would like to specially mention Sujata, because Sujata comes from a very middle class background, from a hometown, if I'm not wrong, from Nasik or Nagpur. Today she's in Pune. And it's her father who never, she talks about it on the video, that he never distinguished between her and any boy, right? They were two daughters. Both of them started riding the bike in their village or town, and that was the talk of the town at that point in time. Many people came and spoke to her father, saying this fact that, why you are allowing her to ride a bike. But today she is committed, and the kind of pride that they have today, these same individuals, these naysayers, come and tell her father that, it's so good that she is so well set up, she is independent, right? So these are actual on the ground stories. All of it is possible for us. It's just about our willingness and our mindset and our drive to achieve our goals. So that's how Piramal is. Like I mentioned, we do have second innings at Piramal, so you can write into us. These are our platforms on social media. In case you're interested to learn more about our culture, what we do differently, please feel free to, follow us on LinkedIn, Piramal Careers, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at People of Piramal and at Piramal Careers, right? Like I mentioned, you have the power to design your destiny. That's my email ID. It's jyotika.menon@piramal.com. In case we are falling short for the Q&A, since it's almost time up, but I'll spend 5 minutes on Q&A in case you want to write into me later. Also, maybe looking out for a job and, just want to share across your updated resume, please feel free to reach out and we'll try and check. I'll share it with my colleagues to check for any, relevant open position. Design your destiny is up to you. This is also our employee value proposition at Piramal. That's our promise that if you join us, we have a great culture. We have an aspirational ecosystem where you can join us, grow and transform businesses and make the world a better place in line with our purpose of doing well and doing good. So that would be all from my end. I would just possibly open it up for 5 minutes, Sharnita, for Q&A.
Yes.
You could possibly type your questions on the chat, or you could unmute yourself and we could do that. And I hope I really enjoyed having this session with you. I hope you take away small learnings from this and continue to invest on yourself to reinvent and learn relevant skills and be very happy and stay blessed. That's it from my end.
Yes. Any questions? We'll take questions. You could type it on the chat window. I saw a lot of them ask for Jyotika's email ID. She's
Okay.
already shared it.
You can see
Yes.
it's currently on the screen. So please take note of it.
Okay. Do we have any questions? We'll wait for a minute and then
Sure.
wind up if there are no questions.
Yes. I'm also glad that, today we have platforms like JobsForHer, where the thought was that, how do we make it simpler for women as a community, right?
Yes.
Because that's also a very, very important thing. And being from India, all of us, Sharnita mentioned, are from India. There are those prevalent existing societal norms. It is patriarchic, so it becomes difficult for us at times, right? Some of us, of course, have been blessed with equal opportunities, but it's just about finding your voice.
Yeah.
So
We'll see
thank you so
biases
much.
everywhere. Sitting in a meeting
Yes,
also.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I've personally also done some visits when I would go to some of our office locations, and people would not see me in the eye.
Yeah.
They're just either looking on top or they're looking at their shoes, because
Yeah.
they've never been used to seeing women and talking to women in a professional setup. I think there are some questions I
There
want
is
to ask.
one question
Yes.
from Richa.
Yeah, hi,
How
Richa.
COVID-19 has changed the way Piramal is functioning in a manufacturing sector.
Yes. So Yes, there have been changes that have happened at Piramal as well. Most of us have completely now, like I mentioned, are logging in from home. Piramal, for our pharma solutions and glass sites, for example, right, we provide or we create drugs, right, API. So that falls into the essential category, essential need, and hence they have been functional even post COVID. Of course, there have been a lot of changes in terms of social distancing. We have maintained that, it's working only at 10 to 15% workforce capacity right now. We have made all those possible necessary changes from the safety aspect, right? So that nobody actually faces a situation. We provide travel, we provide, so it's very simple. There is no concern, but our sites continue to function at lower capacity at this point in time. For rest of the corporate regional offices, we are currently logging in from home, right? And we, for example, most of our offers have been, we continue with our offers, with our hiring. We just completed a month back our entire launchpad journey, which was our digital summer internship program, right? Where we had students from pedigree institutes come and complete we only changed the way we did it. Earlier on, we kind of cut down on the research where they have to go on the field and take data points, right? That was one change, but we continued all of our projects and they just completed it with a big bang recently. So all those kind of tweaks to continue working well with the COVID situation in the new normal have been implemented at Piramal very quickly, I would say. Any other questions, Sharnita? I am just going to read Vinuta Reddy's question. How can one do a career shift when vacancies are industry specific? I am in battery industry. How to update, upgrade, and be confident regarding the same when attending an interview? If sometimes might not get a job in IT industry or pharma industry. Okay, so I am in HR. I have worked in at least 4 different industries. It's very important to kind of put across your skill set, which is not industry specific. In order to do that, you'll have to work on projects. What's the particular function, Vinuta, that you're working on?
I'm into recruitment actually.
You're into recruitment. Oh, fantastic. So then that should not be a concern, right? Because you are recruiting talent for the organization. Whenever you're kind of pitching it, even if you have your past experience, which is restricted to one particular industry, what you need to do in your next interview is try and say how well you do your job.
Yeah.
Right? Because while you're a recruiter, you kind of, multitask. You have to figure out what's the role, what is the right talent that fits the role, what kind of values, the culture fit if the candidate is, so talk about all of these aspects which are industry agnostic and not specific to one particular industry in your next interview. And I think that will really help you, move out of the industry in case you are looking for that change.
We have Rita who wants to know, has it put additional stress on the production and caused supply chain disruptions?
Yes, initially, it took us some time to reach the same level, right? Because once COVID hit, even from the organization bit, I feel we were very quick to making those changes very promptly and very quickly. But at the same time, there was some time that was taken, for the employees to come back to work, right? The entire KRA has shifted, right? And the organization is fine with it, but we wanted to ensure that it continues. And what we have done is we have made, longer days, right? The shifts have increased because each shift has lesser number of people. So in those, ways, what Piramal has done is that we have continued. There was, I would say, a certain amount of time taken for people to get adjusted to this new normal, but today it is back on track. Thanks, because we have great employees who are very dedicated as well. There were people who wanted to come even when we were contemplating, right? So it's also about great employees and the culture that we have. So thanks to that, I would say that we're doing very well right now.
Yes, I think no more questions. We'll end at this since we're past 12.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining
Yeah,
in.
Jyotika,
Thank you.
thanks for a wonderful session and helping us understand the future of work, the trends that shape the future of work, economy in India, behaviors and new normal, and how important it is to upskill and reskill. And also sharing your inputs and discussing on how women can mold their careers. And audience, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll keep you posted on our next masterclass soon. And this recording will be shared on social media. Let's say in about 5 to 10 days.
Thank you so much,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.